Hello and welcome to another Whoosh video breakdown. Today we are taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Classics Angella. This is the April 2015 Club Eternia figure, so it is getting ready to ship out in just a few weeks. This figure will be automatically shipping to Club Eternia subscribers, and it will be available on April 15th for day of sale purchase. We're going to hit some of the highlights of the figure today in this video, but be sure to go to thefwoosh.com to see the full review coming very, very soon. If you've been collecting Masters of the Universe Classics for a while now, you can probably tell that Angella does make use of several reused parts, which has become a theme in this line. However, she does have a few new things, some obvious, some not. For the first time ever, I believe we're seeing a female figure that has a piece of ankle articulation where the joint is actually hidden. This has been going on in several of the male boots for a long time now, but it's just something that I happened to notice and I wanted to point out. You can tell just by the overall look of this figure that it does follow the pattern of most of the Princess of Power females, where the overall silhouette and build of the figure is based on the style guide and filmation looks. However, as you can see in not only the bodice but kind of the belt as well, there are several little vintage toy details that have been added to this figure too. The big thing about Angella is, of course, her angel wings. There have been several figures in this line that have had wings in the past, and several females as well. However, these wings are a little bit different than what we've seen before. They plug into the back via an alternating hinge, as you can see right here. If you think of a door hinge, these are going to operate exactly the same way. And actually, if you are familiar with the DC Universe Classics Hot Girl figure, you can see that not only are the wings the same, but also the way that they attach to the back. The wings are not removable from this figure, so just know that going in. Not that I think that there's probably a big reason why anyone would need their Angella wings to remove, since they're such a seminal part of this figure. However, the toy halo is removable. It just snaps right on to the back. And it can plug in. It stays in actually very nicely, and doesn't come off, but you know, just a little pull and there it goes. The wings move side to side and front to back via the hinge, and then they also can expand, you know, quite a bit in order for Angella to take some of her flying poses. She actually has really great balance for having such a large wing setup, so that is something to look forward to, that she's not going to be difficult to pose once she's on the shelf. A lot of that is due not only to the way that she's built, but because these new ankle joints are nice and tight. They still pose very well, but as you can see, they're able to support the weight of not only the figure, but her wings. She does have her filmation hair look, of course, which comes down to kind of a, I guess you could call that a combed bottom on there. Maybe there's a hairstyle that I don't know the name of that this is actually representing, but it does match the cartoon very well. Speaking of the cartoon, she does have an all-new accessory, which is her sword. This is the sword that she uses in the Secret of the Sword saga, once Bright Moon has been liberated by the Horde after Angella has been freed from Hunga the Harpy. So this was a great little catch for the Four Horsemen to be able to add to the figure to give her more of a fighting weapon, since the vintage toy did not really come with anything like that. Another thing that I wanted to comment on via video was her, I guess we would just call this her crotch piece. It has altered a little bit, as you can see, and at the risk of getting a little too gratuitous here, you can see that it actually does come down to a point, but it has actually been glued to the T-crotch portion down here at the bottom. So while this probably isn't the most ideal fix for the female, you know, leotard pieces that we've been seeing in the past, it does to me look better, but hopefully we're still going to see a little bit of a solution beyond this. Now, when we speak of Princess of Power characters that we have left, Peekaboo has already been revealed, and Perfuma will come out by the end of the year, but none of them will feature this type of costumes, so they will have skirts, so this actually won't be an issue whatsoever. Another thing that I wanted to point out is that Angella is actually... I think she's come in slightly short as a Masters of the Universe Classics female figure, which, you know, if you're going to pose her in your display flying maybe above the rest of the crew or whatever, that's fine. And she doesn't really look all that out of place when it comes to being stood next to other figures. But as you can see, you know, a figure like Castaspella does still end up being a little bit taller than Angella. The spot where you really are able to notice this is when you pose her next to her daughter Glimmer. Glimmer was already probably too tall to begin with, but now next to Angella, as you can see, there's quite a height discrepancy here. If it was the other way around, I think it would be appropriate, since Glimmer is supposed to be one of the youngest members of the Great Rebellion. You know, she should probably be a little bit smaller, but you know, this figure was already pretty tall, and Angella being a little bit smaller, and I think it's due to her new shin pieces in her boots that's causing most of this. So when she's standing next to her teenage daughter, she does look quite a bit smaller, but that's just something that we'll probably have to get used to, since this is the final figure and this is what they're going to look like, you know, standing next to each other. So maybe having Angella kind of flying above the rest of the Great Rebellion display will probably be a good idea. Like I said, this figure is coming out in just a few weeks. Overall, I think this is a really nice addition to the Princess of Power shelf in your collection, and the Masters of the Universe Classics collection as a whole. We've had to wait for a long time to finally get this figure, and she rounds out the last of the original Princess of Power 8-back figures. So it's been a long time coming, but I think a lot of fans are going to be really happy come mid-April when this figure starts to ship. So, you know, give us a comment below, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Also, as I mentioned before, don't forget to check out the full written review of this figure, and that's going to include over 30 pictures. It's available at thefwoosh.com. So we will be back again very soon with another Masters of the Universe Classics video breakdown. But until then, keep on fwooshing.